About 80 Lansing Board of Water and Light customers are still without power tonight because of Friday's storm. At Ascension Lutheran Church on Hazlitt Road, the lack of electricity is only part of the problem. They have a new utility pole after the old one fell on the roof of the church and the transformer went through it, knocking out power to the whole building. The roof has been patched up and 8 trucks of crews have been out there throughout the day trying to get the power back in order. As Ann Perrett reports, the BWL's general manager says they will continue working until everyone's power is restored.
It was pretty scary. There's lots of wind. My husband was going to go out for a bike ride and he looked out the window and he decided against it and he came in and told us to get in the basement.
The storm didn't last long, but for the BWL, it's the worst summer storm the utility has seen.
We have a group that monitors weather for us, and this popped up pretty fast. We knew there was a chance of severe weather, but nothing like this was predicted by our folks or anybody that we saw. But we were able to respond fast.
More than 600 wires and 14 utility poles were knocked down. 12,000 customers lost power.
The areas that we have not been able to get in and do tree trimming yet were hit the hardest, and there's certain areas that have been resistive to this. We think this will help them see the light.
The BWL tells me within 48 hours of the storm, power was restored to 90% of their customers, and thanks to mutual aid, 50 crews have constantly been on scene.
There's a lot of work involved there.
The Sokolnickis have their electricity back, but are still working to clean up the debris.
It looked like a forest had grown in our front yard. We couldn't get out our front door. We have 1 full tree that uprooted in the front yard and 2 significant limbs in the back. 1 fell on our family room.
And like much of the neighborhood, they spent their weekend cutting up the limbs, which now lie in the front yard, ready for the city to pick up.
We're going to ask people to be patient with us. It's going to take a long time to remove this much debris. It's going to take several weeks.
In East Lansing, Ann Perrett, Fox 47 News.
A big tree also fell in front of the church. The city is asking people with trees down in their yard to move them as close to the curb as possible so they can be disposed of, but only if there are no power lines touching them. You also need to make sure you keep the sidewalks and street clear. The BWL tells us it's ahead of schedule on restoring power to those final customers. The goal is to have everything back in order by Wednesday.